What's up, everyone? This is Ryan Kramer from Ping Pong Payments. This is our show, e-commerce or crossover commerce. I can't even get the name right, and it's already my third episode. So, crossover commerce. I'm Ryan Kramer. I work for Ping Pong Payments, and what we are is a digital FX company helping people save their money when they sell online. The whole point of this show, and to kind of reiterate, kind of what we do on a day-to-day basis, is I want people in the e-commerce community to gain knowledge and level up their experience and their knowledge and how to take their business to the next level. I'm very fortunate to know people in the space that do this for a living. I personally did not sell on Amazon, but I know a lot of people who do. So this is kind of an unbiased approach of bringing people into this space to educate themselves on what to do to expand that either worldwide empire, or if you want to just sell on Amazon for a living or sell on e-commerce for a living. But my guest today, I'm super excited about, is Paul Barron. Paul is actually runs Chat Marketing University as a seller online. He has a really long list for his resume, very well known in the community for Amazon sellers. And I'm super happy to have him on board to kind of talk about what Manychat is, if that's kind of a hot button word that is used around the community, what chatbots are, and actually how to use those to take time and effort off of your plate and to help grow your business. So Paul, why don't you intro yourself? Thanks for joining today.
Yeah, man. So good to be here in the middle of, quarantine lockdown.
Exactly. We were just talking about like how our kids are adapting. I love, how everyone's handling this differently, but it doesn't stop people from selling online. So this is more of a, unprecedented time, but there's been so much going on, right? Like right. Amazon just announced Prime Day, which is really cool. Right. Q4 is just around the corner. So I know you're excited and getting geared up with your students and what you do. So maybe kind of talk us through, the basics, like who you are as an entrepreneur, what you do and focus on and specialize in, and kind of what we can do to like take our business to the next level.
Yeah. So my background is pretty varied. I actually do not have a college degree. I went to school for I went to school for pastoral leadership. In 2002. It was in Australia, and that was when the economy took a giant downturn. I mean, there was 2002, then 2008, and I just couldn't afford to get back to school, so I never finished my program. And I was stuck in America, and I always had like this knack for marketing, and always did little entrepreneurial ventures. When I was younger, I live in Colorado, so skiing is a big deal here, and nowadays you can get a ski ticket, like a lift ticket for a day, is like $120. It's absurd.
Yeah, it's going up a lot. I know a lot of people are not happy about that.
It's insane. I mean, when I was a kid, though, you can get them for like $20, and so if I wanted to go skiing and it snowed, I would just shovel enough sidewalks to get enough money to go skiing. And that's how I would pay for skiing. And I had like a little lawn mowing business, and but I wanted to go into ministry and like helping people like do missions work and stuff abroad. And so that's why I did the degree in pastoral leadership. And so fast forward to 2002, came home, got stuck in America, and just was kind of cast adrift. I didn't really know what was going on. Like when you're young, you sort of assume that life has like this upward trajectory, like up until
it gets better from here. Exactly.
And everything is better. And then all of a sudden you hit, bumps in the road, and everything I had to like, reset. I didn't want to get a degree because I wanted to help people for a living. I'm like, you don't need a degree for that.
It's true.
So I bounced around job to job. I had like sales jobs, but the entrepreneurial thing kept coming up. And I started like a web development company back before I knew what web development was. It was web design. And that was when I learned how to code barely. I did a videography company. I had to borrow all the equipment because I didn't even own cameras. And there's like all this stuff that I was always doing. So all that to say, I've been in business and I've failed multiple businesses, and I can't even necessarily say that they're businesses, only that they were registered with the state as businesses.
Oh my gosh. So you're a legit business entrepreneur.
Totally. I didn't do the quarterly tax reports or whatever. I don't even know any of that stuff. But But 5 years ago, so we'll fast forward to 5 years ago. I started a business with my wife on Amazon after about 5 to 10 years of actual marketing experience, and I had gotten hired at a company about a decade ago, promoted a bunch to be the channel manager, and I really learned a lot about SEO and marketing and digital marketing, and combining like my entrepreneurial spirit and stuff. I loved helping entrepreneurs, and I had always wanted to start my own business. And I had to be forced out. I mean, I was actually fired from my job. Long story with that, but that was a good thing because it gave me the necessary push that I needed to kind of have confidence in myself. I started my own web development firm and marketing firm. A year later, we launched on Amazon, and we sort of at least when we first launched, I'd assumed like we were sort of picking a placeholder product, like something that we were going to start with and then add stuff down the road. But long story short, like we really built a name for ourselves in the space that we're in. Over the last, let's see, 4 or 5 years, we've been on the Rachel Ray show. I got to meet Barbara Corcoran in person, which is awesome. We had a consultation with her.
That's awesome.
I mean, if you're a fan of Shark Tank, like she's amazing.
Exactly. I mean, exactly. Like that's what is it, Thursday nights now? I forget what day they like throw that around. But she's investing in so many different businesses and everything. Like those people touch. Like obviously, it says a lot about you as a business person if they want to consult and talk to you. And
I was stoked. I mean, we won $10,000 as a part of this thing, but for me, the bigger prize was meeting with Barbara Corcoran. And we've had the privilege of partnering with some Olympians and different things in various like marketing deals. And it's just been, I really feel blessed because we've worked our asses off and it's been a hard road, but it's really good to see like when you do something and you do it right, then you can reap the benefits. And we're still normal people. I mean, we don't live in a lavish house. It's like 1,300 square feet.
You don't drive, lavish cars or live in a mansion or anything like that. No, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, all the money goes back into the business and other businesses. And so we started in the Amazon world 5 years ago. 3 years ago, I started experimenting with bots, chatbots, because they had just come out. Well, not just come out, but Facebook had opened the API. You could actually build chatbots using Messenger. And so I was when I started experimenting with Messenger back in the day, found out that there was no one was really doing anything with them. I couldn't find any information online to learn. And so I was just kind of going it alone. And my big aha moment came when I ran this contest that we got 1,500 subscribers in 5 days. And it was about like a penny per subscriber. And I was blown
which in the digital marketing world is like super, super cheap. Like it's unheard of, unless it's free. Free is the only other way to beat that.
Yeah, it's insane. It was absolutely insane. I mean, granted, I learned a lot in that. Like I learned a lot about targeting. We didn't really have our lead magnet very well targeted. We didn't have a bunch of stuff, but still out of that list, like that was my big push into, I really want to figure out how I can use this in my business. More specifically, getting reviews on Amazon, launching products on Amazon, and really building that list so that I could do that more effectively and cost effectively in the future. And that led me to starting, at the time it was called Messenger Bot University. I had 2 partners. And they've since, over the past year and a half, they had backed out and just focus on their brands. Actually just got a text prior to this from one of my former partners. He was asking me about Amazon sales today. So I still keep in touch with them, and I've rebranded it to Chat Marketing University because the future of marketing, I really believe, is really chat-based, whether it's like voice search with Alexa or using a chatbot of some type, whether it's on your website or in Messenger or WhatsApp or even in Instagram. All the signs are pointing that all the major carriers, everybody is pushing towards making chat marketing like a big deal. So that's what I want to go through today, is explain people, give people some tools that they can leverage this in their business if they haven't yet. And the tools that I am going to give are actually designed so that you do the work now and it's evergreen and you don't have to pay for those leads. They're your packaging inserts and that sort of stuff. So I'm going to dive in.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. And just for everyone who may not know what a chatbot is, for example, Obviously, you'll have a definition and whatnot, but by and large, everyone, this is going to run through Facebook Messenger. Or I'm assuming you can take this kind of model and apply it to anytime that you would typically have like a messenger or like through Instagram, like how you can message different accounts back and forth. You yourself are the one who is typically typing this out. Chatbots, by definition, are something that are pre-designed so that they go into a flow. If this, then this is by the most basic definition. So yeah, why don't you kick us off and we'll go through it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's share my screen. All right, so you should see my, okay, cool. So you can see my second screen.
Yep, I got you.
All right. Here we go. All right, so you should see that growing your Amazon business with chatbots.
There you go. Yep, I got you.
Cool. So there are a ton of different Facebook Messenger bot platforms out there. I use Manychat, and that's the reason why I use it. They're by far the best funded. They have the biggest, the best tool suite, and they are a messenger bot or a messenger marketing automation platform. And according to them, messenger marketing automation or messenger bots is the act of leveraging mobile chat platforms such as Facebook Messenger to facilitate conversations and commerce with prospects and customers. And chatbots are, in a nutshell, like you said, Ryan, chatbots. And when we talk about chatbots right now, I'm specifically Facebook Messenger because this is what we have the ability to work now. They are a series of predefined messages in Facebook Messenger that is triggered by a predefined action. So what that means is that you set up on your end how everything is designed. And the way that I like to give an analogy is like you're an adventure story. You say, like you said, Ryan, if this, then that. For example, one predefined action could be clicking on a Facebook ad or visiting a URL in one of your inserts. At the end of this presentation, I have a URL that you guys can download stuff and go through a chatbot too. So those predefined messages are called flows, and you can direct the customer dynamically through different flows based on their responses to multiple choice type questions. So it kind of looks like this. On the right, it's a little bit pixelated. I apologize for that. That's what you see on the building side in Manychat as the admin. On the left-hand side is what your customer would see. So you see we have like these decision trees, and typically you could either have like yes, no, other, or yes, yes, no. But the point is that you have a goal, right? So in this, let's say I'm wanting to get a quote with, Flo from Progressive, and I can easily get a quote using the chatbot. And so that's one of the cool things and why people like using chatbots is because it helps them or helps us as customers get to where we're wanting to go in a lot easier manner without having to, wait on hold and talk to customer support and all that stuff. So some of the things that I use chatbots for as an Amazon seller are post-purchase funnels. And inside those post-purchase funnels, so that would be something where like you have an insert or in any of your packaging, you can drive people to sign up for your list. You're doing like a giveaway of some type, warranty registration, etc. And in those funnels, we gather our customers' information. Like I said, we have product warranty registrations or maybe freebie redemptions, and we're getting our customer information because as you all know, when you sell on Amazon, Amazon owns the customer. Unless that customer chooses to interact with you and chooses to give you their details, they're still Amazon customer. When they buy an Amazon, they're Amazon customer. So the goal is to build your own customer list so that you're not at whims of Amazon whenever you launch product or are sending out sneak peeks or blogs or whatever, what have you. My big focus is to build a massive list of people that love us. And one of the ways that we do that is providing stellar customer service because people love working with chatbots. We also use them for launching new products, like I said. And typically, when we launch products, we're ROI positive, meaning that we're not in the hole. I am not a fan of giveaways, the 100% giveaway, which is kind of in vogue right now. I think that they definitely serve their place when you're getting started. You don't have an audience yet, but there's no reason that you should be losing money on product launches when you're an established seller and you have a brand that's established. Other things that I use them for would be like rank maintenance. Rank maintenance would be, let's say that your ranking is slipping for, let's say I sold stainless steel tumblers, and I'm just slipping for a few keywords. We can trickle traffic to just increase the sales so that we increase rank over time. I said contest giveaways, sharing content, creating genuine engagement. There's tons and tons and tons more that you can do.
Absolutely. And like everyone else knows, Amazon's super strict in how do you interact with that customer. Like you had mentioned before, Paul, that customer is by definition Amazon's. They have a strict TOS compliance of even how you can ask for, even reviews or asking people to, if there's problems. There's so many guidelines and it's a very long list of how you can interact with people. This is something that for more often than not, the seller has more control over because obviously the packaging is theirs. It's not infringing on those terms of services. It's actually prompting the customer, if they choose to opt into this kind of messaging, them reaching out on their own behalf. It's not, unsolicited reach out to customer and, for lack of a better word, make them angry or, things like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Spamming is a good word. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. And this is obviously, as an Amazon seller, you still need to understand the rules of the platform that we sell on, Amazon being, one of them specifically. And then when we work within Facebook, we need to know what we can and can't do. So, there's a general TOS stuff that you always want to pay attention to. Like you never should require a review in exchange for a free product or any sort of incentive. Like that will get you banned all the time if that's something that you need to look at the product quality, because if people aren't leaving reviews, you probably have an issue with product quality, brand experience, or customer experience. And it's not, in my opinion, no review problem is actually a review problem. It's just one of those other three. So reasons, again, I mentioned earlier when we were starting out that experience that I had, 1,500 people signing in 5 days. That was massive. I mean, it was really inexpensive to build a list. But another reason why I'm excited about building lists on Messenger, and people ask, well, why not use email marketing? And we use it all. I'm not saying that you need to switch everything to bots. No, it's like, this is another channel that you should be using.
Exactly.
Inside email, standard open rate for e-commerce industry is 15 2/3%, versus inside Messenger, open rates are typically 80 to 90% with a well-maintained list. And that's even with a well-maintained list with email. These are, emailing them, once a week, or, you're not, letting them grow cold. So massive, massive difference in open rates. And then the biggest difference really is the click-through rate. On email, the average open rate for an e-commerce industry is 2%, just over 2%. In Messenger, the average is on the low end 20%. On the high comfortable end that I'd say generally anybody can get would be 40%. Sometimes we see open rates up, click-through rates rather, between 60 and 70%. I mean, it's just massively different. So let's break this down by the numbers, right? So in order to get 500 clicks, if you're building an email list, you would need either 12,000. Wow, that's a new number, 12,077.
There we go.
I got 7 happy there. 12,000 people at double the click-through rate. Okay, so if I was being generous, you need about 12,000 at double the click-through rate. Versus the standard click-through rate, you need 25,000 people on that list. And we all know that sometimes building an email list, depending on how you do it, it can be a bit of a slog. And getting 25,000 people on that list, I mean, you've got to have a substantial more, higher number of sales just to get 25,000 people on that list. Versus with Messenger, the numbers are substantially lower. You have it's basically a 10th. So it's about 10 times more profitable on Messenger just because of the numbers and the click-through rates. So like I said, the click-through rates are phenomenal. This is a screenshot from one of the accounts that we manage. Various broadcasts they would send out or sequences that people are going through. And you can see the open rates are almost 100% across the board. And then the lowest open rate was 67%.
And just to be clear, that open rate is the initial click to get into the sequence, correct?
Right. Yeah. So the open rate would be anytime anybody opened the first the first message that was sent to them. The click-through rate is anytime they click on any button or link inside the flow. So that's 67%. We have a lot more detailed metrics inside the flows. You can look at like specifically which links are clicked over what other links, and you can do a lot of split testing if you're nerdy like that, like I am. But this is a screenshot. This is a year ago, so I need to get more updated stuff. I just haven't changed these out because I've had these in this presentation for a while. But you can see, massive amount of subscribers in just a short window of time there. 839 subscribers. This one has 1,500 subscribers in about 5 days. Here you see like the big jumps over time. That's when we would run different promotions. And then like the slow increases are just evergreen people adding in evergreen. Same with this one, big jumps over time, really short period of time. Between the 12th and the 20th, there was 400 people that signed up. I mean, the list goes on and on. And another reason why I love using Messenger, in addition to open rates, in addition to click-through rates, in addition to the fact that it's cost effective to build lists on, is that there's 1.3 billion people every month who are actually active and use Facebook Messenger, which is a massive amount of people. And this data is taken from a survey that Facebook conducted back in 2016. So right now, I would say that the number for that has definitely gone up because of COVID. There are tons of news stories about how people are now using messaging apps like things that I used all the time as an entrepreneur, like Zoom isn't a messaging app, but Zoom went through the roof, Messenger is going through the roof, WhatsApp's going through the roof, Instagram Direct, TikTok, all of those things are going through the roof because people are actively using Messenger to communicate with their friends when they can't see them in person. So this number is pretty low now for 2020. I'm just waiting on an updated survey to get better numbers from. Additionally, 64% of people that were polled in the survey said that they prefer direct messages over emails or phone calls. And the way that I like to think of things like this is it's just how I work. I don't know if you're like me, Ryan, but I actually have on my voicemail, if you call me, to send me a text because sometimes it takes me like 2 weeks to listen to my voicemail. Like,
100%. And that's the thing is like, I think a lot of people will send it. I think generally too, I love it if they send only one instance to me, like a text, or if they call and it's a missed call, and then they freak out on there and they're like, well, why didn't you get back with me? Either A, they didn't leave another kind of prompt, whether it's a voicemail or a text, like you're saying, or they just assume that, you got the message and you just want to not interact with them or something like that, where there's that miscommunication. So 100% is what I do that as well.
Yeah. So direct messaging can take the form of, SMS or Messenger or WhatsApp, but, you get the gist. People prefer that because it's a lot shorthand communication. Like when I call people, it's honestly because I've been texting like 5 or 6 times back in a row. We're going back. I'm like, I'm just going to call you.
Yeah, let's just chat, like actually chat, human to human.
Right. And that's when I call people. The only other times that I get calls are from like my mom or my dad, my wife. But even then she'll text me, or spammers. Like I get more calls from spammers than I do from people that I actually know.
Yes, 100%.
Especially now.
It's so sad.
Right. Yeah.
It's either text or you see how many spams come across until you get to like a friend or a colleague and you're like, man, this is sad.
Right. It's fun. 53% of people in this survey also said that they would be more likely to shop with a business if they can message directly. And again, it comes back to thinking through the eyes of your consumers, thinking through the eyes of your customers. You need to make paths for them to communicate with you easily in the means and methods that they prefer to communicate with their friends. That's all marketing is being in the spot where people are and communicating with them how they want to be communicated with. Pardon me. So here is a graphic from Facebook they had just updated, I think about a month or two ago. They have, for Messenger, they have 3 things: considering, converting, and connecting. And all of this comes down to the fact that when people are considering purchasing from a business, 35% of people that are considering will ask a business a question. They'll ask store hours or location or inventory. When people are in the process of converting, so purchasing, 34% are going to make or confirm an appointment. 33% make or purchase or place an order, and all through Messenger. And then connecting, 30% people say that they want to provide feedback about a business. So think feedback as in product improvement, product reviews, customer service feedback. The list goes on and on. And connecting, again, sharing products or photos of products would be user generated content. I have a whole nother talk that I do and a whole nother line of, I don't want to say service, but uh, I have a talk on nano influencers and leveraging nano influencers, and how you can use chat marketing to build lists, to build your influencer base on Instagram so that people are promoting your products, 24/7 for you. And this is something that we've done kind of in tandem with Messenger. Like, we weren't doing it together. We've recently kind of melded those worlds. Um, but yeah, this is a program that we've done in our business for about 3.5 years. And it's one of the reasons why we can sell for twice the cost of our nearest competitors on Amazon and maintain that price, because of the quality of our products, our customer service, that user experience, the social proof that everyone says we're the best. When you're looking for something, social proof is huge, especially if you've never bought a product like that. So whether it's a review on Amazon or people talking about you on Instagram, it's massive.
Absolutely.
Couple things to know. So when you want to set up a Manychat account, you can just go straight to manychat.com. You can sign up for a free account, or if you want, you can click my link, cmu.live/manychat. That's an affiliate link, and it just gives me, I think it was like $2 if you sign up. But if you don't want to give me money, I'm totally fine with that. You can just do it, go straight to Manychat. But it's free to start. If you use a pro account with Manychat, it's only $10 a month, and there are so many features. Basically, every single funnel that I build requires a pro feature, such as like adding things to Google Sheets or alerting admins when people need help. When you're setting this up, it will connect to your Facebook profile. So you have to have a Facebook profile, and you have to have a business page set up. So you'll verify. It's going to use Messenger to connect those things, and you can use one Manychat account per Facebook page, but you can add several users to manage that Facebook page. So how that works is, you sign up for an account. Let's say you run 3 or 4 brands. You would need one Manychat account per brand that you run, just because all of those subscribers for that page are that page's subscribers. You can't take those subscribers and put them into another page. Now, you can cross promote. You can send out, broadcasts or messages from one page about another page. And I can get into that later if people have questions, but
Sure.
that's the basics right there. When you're signing up, it's pretty straightforward. There's a demographics questionnaire, like who are you, how many employees, is this a test account, a real account? It'll ask you to verify and connect to your Facebook page. You want to choose yes, this will be used for an actual business unless you actually are using it for training. Answer the rest of those questions, click continue. Then you want to go to settings or users. If you have multiple team members, you can invite them to be an admin on the account, an editor, just a live chat agent. So let's say you have an army of customer service VAs, and you want them to answer customer service questions inside Manychat. You can invite them all, and they can all have their own link, and they can only be, have their permission to just help with live chat. Once you do that, it generates a link. You send them that link, and they have to click on it within 24 hours. They'll have to log in via Facebook just like you. They'll have to have a Facebook account. But it's really, really, really intuitive. And again, like, I have trainings on this. If you want, you can hit me up afterwards, and I can send you the links to those. I have some free trainings, then I also have, paid trainings. Plus, Google's a great tool. If you need help with that, you can always just Google. Other things that you're going to do when you're setting up your account, you'll need to set up billing if you're going to be going to a paid account. I mean, this is straightforward. Every software as a service has this. Answer those demographic questions, set up your billing credit card. And then one other setting that I do inside live chat, I choose that any message starts a conversation. And I also choose this option that says show team member name and profile picture, because how that works is that let's say somebody has a question and they're not used to talking with a chatbot. They don't understand they're supposed to tap a button and they just reply something. when they send that message, if you choose that option that says any message starts a conversation, that will send you an alert. Manychat has an app that you can download on your phone, and I love it because then I can see like, real time if my if I need to answer, or if my team's answering, like I can sort of follow along. Um, it's really it's just better customer service. The other cool thing that show team member name, it shows when a real person is taking over a bot, and it'll say Paul Barron via Chat Marketing University or on behalf of Chat Marketing University. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. And believe it or not, a lot of people interact with that. Probably more as a trust factor. They're smart. They know like these bots that exist out there. But if they're talking to a human too, you need to know that when that actually, is a situation you come across. So
Yeah,
that's really cool.
exactly. And it is really cool. I love that feature because just like you said, Ryan, like people love feeling like they're being made special. Like every human wants to feel heard, wants to be noticed, wants to feel like their contributions to the world or whatever matter, whether it's the world or what it is that they're doing. They want to feel like they matter. A good way to do that is just provide good customer service and hop on, answer questions as a person. Showing people that it's you versus a bot will do that.
Yeah, 100%.
Will help. So I'm going to go through the dashboard here on the left, okay? And so I'm going to break down kind of once you log in, what each one of these little options here. You have dashboard, audience, growth tools, live chat, broadcasting, all that stuff. I'll go through and explain what these are and give you a high-level overview so you can get up and running quickly. So the dashboard gives you an overview of your bot. It shows you how many connections you have, how many people have signed up, are subscribers for Messenger, how many people are subscribers for the SMS channel, and how many people are subscribers to the email channel. Because Manychat, you can send SMS and email in addition to Messenger. And say whether or not you choose to use Manychat to send SMS or email, you can still get subscribers for those other channels. So let's say you use like Klaviyo for email, which is huge in the e-commerce world. You can still get people to sign up, and there's a native integration to Klaviyo inside Manychat that you can add people to lists. It's pretty sweet. It also shows you your number of active subscribers are, who your new subscribers are. It gives you some demographic data like language and gender, and it gives you a quick content overview and quick links to just recently modified flows. So let's say you have a team member that's building a flow. You can just go in and see which ones have been edited recently and then go back without having to do 3 or 4 more clicks. Under your audience tab, there is a ton of data here. You have, obviously, there's your subscribers there that you have a picture of them. That's their Facebook avatar, their name, their status, when they subscribed. And then let's say you want to do like a filter. That filter in search is really powerful because you can filter it down based on, say, how long they've opted in, or what lead magnet they opted into your funnel with, and so on and so forth. Growth tools is basically everything that you use as a kind of a lead magnet type thing. That's why it has the magnet. It's how you get people to sign up into your bot, and it's the contact and entry point for most people. So we have overlay widgets, embeddable widgets. Those 2 top ones are ways that you can get people to sign up using your website. And so that would be, like a bar on the top of your website, or a slide-in thing. I'm sure you've seen it, where you can control like at 30% scroll, have this thing slide in with an offer. Other growth tools, they have a landing page, which is not, it's basically just a sign up for Messenger. It's not super robust like ClickFunnels or anything, so you can't use it like that. But if you just want to send people to a landing page to get them to sign up with just that, that's what that is. The ref URL is a link, and I'm going to be talking about that during this presentation and how you can use that in inserts and emails, et cetera, to get people to sign up for your Messenger account. Facebook comments are, and Facebook comments 2.0, that's a new version, but Facebook comments are basically an automated response that when someone comments on a specific post, you can have your bot automatically message them, which is super cool. Because let's say you want to do a contest, and you're doing a holiday contest or Thanksgiving, and you could say, for Black Friday, we're going to be giving away 10, stainless steel tumblers. We're going to randomly pick from people who tell us their favorite Thanksgiving memory. And then we'll message you, once you tell us your memory, we'll message you and give you details on the giveaway. So people comment, they tell you their favorite holiday, Thanksgiving memory. Your bot automatically responds to that comment with a predefined message that you set up. Let's say, again, it's like a standard giveaway phone where you say, "Hey, Paul, thanks for commenting. We're so excited to see your interest in our giveaway. For more details, click get started below," or something like that. They go through the funnel, you capture their data, you get a subscriber. It's a super cool tool. Facebook ads JSON is basically a way that you can run Facebook ads, and that's pretty. I can go into a little bit more depth on that, but there's another way that you can set up Facebook ads. You see there on the left, there's that ads button there. A QR code is just like the Messenger URL, but a scannable thing. Customer chat is embeddable on your website, and the checkbox is also embeddable on your website. So think of it. Let's say somebody's checking out on your cart, and you want to say, "Send me updates in Messenger," and that checkbox, that's what that does.
Nice. So obviously, like that's a lot of interactive tools where you yourself not only just like interact with your client or your potential customer, but you can basically gather more information about who they are, where they're coming from, how to incentivize them to move them down that funnel, which is ultimately what Manychat is for, is making them convert, but also utilize their information that they're providing willingly. Again, this is not something that they have to interact with, but it's certainly something where you can get more data and more information to know who your customer is at the end of the day.
Exactly. And I basically divide them into like website type widgets. So customer chat, I don't know why they don't just have that under embeddable widget, because it is embeddable. It's like an on-site thing, right? There's like on-site things, and then like the advertising things and others. And I actually use Messenger Ref URL, Facebook comments, and Facebook ads the most out of all of these. The cool thing about those embeddable widgets and the overlay widgets is once you set them up, they're running all the time, and it doesn't take hardly any time to set them up. Pretty cool.
Nice.
Is where you basically see the ongoing conversations that you have with your subscribers. You have a open and a done tab. So over there, we see you have 6 open conversations. Shows you when the last interaction with. So Anthony Zott, there he says bot test. That's a part of one of the funnels that we had that you say bot test, and then it goes through this whole fun, silly little I don't know if that's still active. So if you sign up for my bot, you could try it. It may still be active. I don't know what'll happen. So that was like a year and a half.
It might all explode. We don't know.
We don't know.
Go out there now, test it, see what happens.
I might be doing that afterwards. I mean, I have so many lead magnets because we've been doing this for 2 or 3 years. I'll get people going through one, and I'm like, "How did you find that? That was like 2.5 years ago." All the data in this funnel is super old. Here, follow the new one. But live chat really takes the place of, if you have the Facebook app on your phone, the Facebook pages, which they just updated today to Business Suite. I don't know if you saw that.
I did, yeah. I know Facebook's pushing a lot of, updates recently. I know that Instagram changed in their layouts, so I'm assuming their whole suite's getting updated.
Instagram's changing so that now you can connect with people directly on Messenger, which is super cool.
Super cool.
I mean, they announced that. I mean, that was like 2018, I think, that they announced that they were going to be making it unifying those channels. And I think that's really what they're doing. That's why they're calling it Business Suite, because it's not just a page. You're managing your Instagram profile and your business page.
100%.
But coming back to live chat, I use live chat to manage all of our messaging interactions instead of the native apps with Facebook, because the native messaging apps inside Facebook are garbage. It's super confusing. You can't, like, it puts all of your sent messages in the same. It's not organized.
You can't organize it yet.
You can't really organize it. It's really confusing. Plus, like I said, Manychat has a nice app that whenever you get a message, it will alert you, and I've actually turned off notifications for the Pages app because of like there's a bazillion pages that I'm either an admin on or something, and I only want specific alerts. So live chat's really, really good. Broadcasting, you see it's divided into paid and just paid messages and broadcasts. And think of a broadcast as sending an email to your list. And if you are if you're familiar with ManyChat, if you're familiar with Messenger and you're watching all this and you're like, okay, this is old news, you know that there are rules around when we can broadcast people within Messenger, and I'll get to those and I'll explain a little bit more around them. But basically, the difference is here with a broadcast, you can send messages to people that have interacted with your bot in the last 24 hours. You can send any message to them. So let's say they come into one of your flows where they're registering a product and you want to upsell them to something. You have 24 hours to do that you can do that for free. Really, the name of the game is don't annoy people. Like Ryan said earlier, don't spam people. If you're spamming people, they're going to report you as a spammer and you're at risk of losing your account. If you're annoying people, you're not serving them. If you're annoying people, you're serving yourself. And the whole name of e-commerce is to serve your customers more effectively and better than anybody else, and that's how you make money. If all you care about is pushing sales to the point where you're just running through people and your list is always doing like a roller coaster because you're having people sign up and then they get pissed and then they unsubscribe, you're doing it wrong. So broadcasting is where we can send a message to people. Automation has flows, keywords, sequences, and rules. And inside automation, the number one thing that you're going to be using is flows. And that little screenshot there is kind of what the inside of a flow looks like using their flow builder. Keywords are keyword triggers like I tell my people when they subscribe that if you ever need help, just say help or I need help. It'll alert the admins and a real person will pop on. So that's what a keyword is. A sequence is something that you can subscribe people to that they get delivered messages in a sequence like triggered by time. So once they're in it, so let's say you want to have them get a message every 12 hours or every 18 hours or something like that. That's what the sequence would look like. So think of it again like an email sequence. And rules are basically kind of getting a little bit more nerdy and nitty gritty here is let's say that you have somebody sign up or you want to have a rule that when somebody finishes this flow, they go into that flow, or when they purchase this, you get alerted. That's what a rule would be. So like if a tag is applied, it alerts an admin. Like that's what rules are.
Right. So if someone's like customer service or like, hey, what's the update on this? You can instantly intersect and help them out with the specific edit. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot more nerdy ways to use rules, which is how I use them. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. And then ads is a direct integration to Facebook's ads. The reason why you'd want to use this instead of using the Facebook advertising suite is this is a little bit better reporting on ROI because it'll show you like anytime somebody makes a purchase, you can attach a conversion event to it, and you'll be able to set up a full ad, click to message ad inside ManyChat and have it published on your Facebook account right there. Settings, there's a ton of stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to go through all of it because you guys are smart people. But, general live chat, growth tools, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to be walking you through one of our post-purchase flows here. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can get that set up. Bear with me here. And that's what we're going to be giving you today is I'm going to give you a couple different flows. And they're both post-purchase, meaning that when you set them up, the way that I have them designed is to be like in an insert. And I am a huge nerd. I save inserts from companies that I get because I look at it's like this one says congratulations and URL, enter this code.
You did it. It's like those motivational posters and stuff like that.
This is a pretty standard insert. Like most Amazon sellers have this one. I'm not really a fan of this because you could get in trouble with happy, unhappy.
Right.
You're not allowed.
The ranking. Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to filter reviews based on experience. If Amazon catches you doing that, they'll suspend your account. This one was for, What's this for? Oh, my Sonicare, my toothbrush. They have this cool little like scan this code sort of thing, and you can enter it to get your warranty. This one is fantastic. I love this one. So this came because we have kids, and they're like 3 and 6. This was just a sheet, a waterproof sheet protector, and I love this because it says the packaging is simple. What's inside is simply great. Waterproof sheet protector, very, very simple. Like this packaging maybe cost them 10, 30 cents, 10, 20, 30 cents. I don't know, not that much. And the cool thing is their insert is really clever too, because they have truth or dare. And like right there, like that's super intriguing.
You instantly want to open that up and you're like, come on, don't test me. I'm in.
Truth or dare. And then they say truth. Some people just aren't risk takers. That's okay. Leave a review about your linen spa product. Or dare. Now we're talking. We could tell you were a wild one. Post an online review with a twist by incorporating the name of your favorite TV show or movie. How cool is that?
That's pretty cool. I like that.
I love that because Amazon looks at reviews and they really, really value well-written, long reviews. So what they're doing here is they're asking people to write a well-thought-out, long review about their product.
That's awesome.
Other thing they have is want to play another game. Would you rather save money on your next purchase, on your next linen spa order, or save your receipt forever? Answer: save money, of course. All you have to do is register your product. So this is cool. They have like their little warranty registration.
That's awesome.
Right here. So they got a couple different calls to action. One, they're asking people to leave a review. They're giving ways for people to get help from customer service if they need it. Apparently, they're Mountain Standard. Good for them. I'm in Colorado. Mountain Standard. I wonder where they're based. I'm gonna have to find them.
Look at that. They're already doing their job. It's doing its job for you.
Yeah, no, I save stuff like this because it's really clever. So whoever did this, they did a really good job on branding. The graphic design is very clean. It's you know exactly what you're looking for. It's not cluttered. It's not all over the place. This one's a little bit with tons of text all over the place. Right. It's very cramped.
Here's a question. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe it's a question of, I know what an insert obviously by definition is something apart from the product itself. Is by definition, can you make a product insert itself asking for some sort of call to action as part of your product packaging? Is that by definition against Amazon's TOS, or have you seen that done before?
No. Amazon would never, ever, 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 ever be able to enforce that, because every single company has some sort of call to action. Like not every single company. Most should, if they don't. I mean, you should have calls to action if you don't. It is like real estate that you are letting weeds grow, and you're like, if you don't do it, you're massively missing out. Like,
right.
Like Five Guys, for example, like they're the sub, no, not Five Guys, it's Firehouse Subs. Firehouse Subs has on their receipt, you enter to win a $500 like gift card or like subs for life just by filling out a survey. And so that's what I'm talking about. These are post-purchase calls to action. So think of it like that. It could be in an insert, it could be in your packaging. Whether or not you have an actual insert, I mean, you could just use your packaging. We're developing new packaging now because we had some issues with Amazon shipping out used, dirty products, which is disgusting. And so what we want, like, we need it so it's a tearaway packaging so that it's clear that it's open, but we're going to have the whole thing fold open so that our insert is going to be in the inside, all printed on the packaging. Awesome. The other reason why we're doing that is it's going to save us 80 cents every time we ship it, because our products should fit in the small and light category, but Amazon's stupid and they're putting them in the large category, which costs 80 cents more per item to ship.
Oh my God. I mean, things like that, obviously you have to be innovative, but why not use marketing to your advantage in that capacity as well?
Right. Yeah. So I've been wanting to do this for over 3 years now. My wife runs a business with me. She does logistics and product development and stuff. And yeah, it took a lot for me to get her to do that. And finally, when Amazon screwed up and shipped out 2 dirty used products of ours, that really helped. Plus the fact that the inserts or the packaging will cost us like 40 cents, and we have like $1.10 wiggle room. So we're going to be making money by
Right.
getting better packaging. We're going to be getting, it's all across the board, a better deal. So
That's awesome.
I need to find, where are they?
And I'll reintroduce us while you look for that too. Thanks again for everyone for joining us live, or if you're on our podcast of Crossover Commerce. I'm Ryan Kramer. I'm the affiliate marketing manager here at Ping Pong Payments, but we started this show to kind of level up everyone's knowledge in terms of, e-commerce in general. Obviously, right now we're talking Amazon, but across the board, we're just trying to help people out in certain topics or areas that you might have heard of, like as a buzzword, like in this case, chatbots. What is a chatbot? Kind of how can I take advantage of those kinds of, capacities, and how is it affecting me as an Amazon seller? But me, as a host of this show, I do this with a lot of, earlier this week we were with PickFu that does A/B testing. Paul Barron is our guest today. He is the head of Chat Marketing University seller for about 5 years or so on Amazon. Super unique background. If you didn't get a chance to hear that earlier, I highly suggest going back listening to that. And then Paul's kind of taking us through Manychat, the company that one of the many companies that helps with chatbots, helping Amazon businesses grow and e-commerce businesses. So we're just kind of listening to his thoughts, his insights on how to get that get that going for your business.
Yep. And so what I'm going to be going through now we were just talking about inserts and how you can generate signups via your products just by doing some clever stuff with inserts. And I'm going to walk you through, this is a product registration for warranty flow. So I design everything. So this is a template that I'm going to be giving you at the end. So the way that I design stuff, first and foremost, is I have it very clear which step is what. So this is step 1, step 2, step 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. So if at any point you want to remove a step, for example, let's say that you don't sell in retail, you can just remove this step and skip on to the next step. Or let's say that you don't need to gather a mailing address, or you don't care about getting a phone number, you can just skip that step and go on to the next one. So when you get this and you download it, you will need a pro account. And one of the reasons why you'll need a pro account is that we're saving this data to a Google Sheet. So anytime we're gathering email, we're gathering the phone, we're getting the mailing address, we're saving all that over to a Google Sheet so that we can use that for different cross promote, or like upload it to like whatever your email marketing software you have. Or if you're using a different SMS marketing software, you can use that. So it's pretty straightforward. We templatize this. We say, again, like when you download this, you'll want to update this message to, with your company information. So we say we stand by our products. We want to make sure you're 100% satisfied with your purchase. Our products are. So you want to talk about your products here. Our brand is talk about your products, your brand, your USP, unique selling proposition, why you're amazing. Do that in maybe 1-2 sentences. You don't want it to be a ton. Tap register product below, or register, whatever you want it. You can change this out. So let's say you don't want it to be register product, or let's say you sell mugs, register mug, or register whatever. You can just delete it to just register. But I'm going to change this back to register product. We're tagging people that they click to register product, and then once they click that, they go on or tap that. Again, we're saying tap because 90 to 95% of people that are going through this will be on their cell phones, their mobile phones. So they're tapping instead of clicking. So they tap that button, goes on to the next step. And this is what it looks like here in Messenger. So when I click register product, it's going on to the next step. And it's going to be showing this typing here to make this process quicker and easy for you. We're using a combination of, so this is where you're going to change this on your back end. So while that's typing, I'm going to show you what it looks like here in the admin view. So I say digital assistants. This right here where we have chatbot name, that is called a custom field. And I set this up so that you can change these custom fields instead of having to go through and like find all this text and change it where we're using it throughout the flow. You would go to settings and then custom fields and then bot fields. We have, so chatbot name right here. So this says Professor Bot. So it says we see chatbot on the admin side. On the customer side, it says Professor Bot. So if you wanted to change that, I could change this to Doctor Bot, or say Vet Bot if you're in the veterinary space, or Chef Bot if you're in the cooking space. You get my point.
Right.
So we use these custom fields as much as we can just to make our life easier. Again, you want to customize this so that it fits. We do an email gathering template here. And again, all this is pre-built for you, so you don't have to do all the hard, heavy lifting. What we're doing is we're doing a conditional check here to see if that email field has any value. And if it does, we say, hey, it looks like you already gave us your email in the past. If it doesn't, we say, well, let's start by getting your best email. Here we're checking to see, okay, is this email, so is that email that field, right? So I'm going to click to edit. So this email that you gave us, we're using variable fields. So if you're familiar with this, we have first name, last name, full name, page ID, user, last seen, interaction. So we'll go to email, opted in email. Is that still the best address? So if they had given us their email in the past, is that still the best? So I'm gonna go back to my messenger here, go on to that step. I'm gonna tap I got it. So it says, because I've gone through this before, obviously this is my bot, is paulb@thechatagency.com still the best email address? Yeah, it is. Or I could say, no, it's not. If I said, no, it's not, it would ask, okay, well, what's your email? Awesome, Paul. The email you entered is, so, okay, no worries, type your email below. So I could type it. And what we're doing is we're saving this. When people give us their email, we're saving their email to the system field inside Manychat so that we could use that to message them in the future if we want. This step, we're checking to see for marketing messages. Can we opt them into marketing messages? They say yes or no. So you can see here, yes or no. If I want to opt into receiving marketing communications, discounts, etc., we're tagging appropriately. Then we're going on to the next one, which is the email or the mailing address. And we're asking them for, what's your street address? Do you have like a unit number? Yes or no. If they say yes, it goes here. If it say no, then it goes on to city. What city do you live in? What state do you live in? What's your postal code? Then we check to make sure that this looks right. So I'm going to go through here so you can see what that looks like on the customer end, because it may look confusing here, right? You have all this stuff going on.
Right.
But on the user end, it's very straightforward. I don't have an apartment number. I live in Loveland, Colorado. 80538 is my zip code. Does this look right to you? 123 Anywhere Street, unit 25. No, I don't have a unit.
And Paul, all this stuff obviously is just kind of a test. What you're going through is it's all a test. Basically, you want to make sure that you try this out until you make it customer facing. Obviously, you want to make sure every loop is closed. You don't want anything to like fall through the cracks. Clearly, it's all kind of a intricate web, if you will, if this then this. So I would suggest for anyone who's starting this for the first time, test something simple and build from it. You don't have to get as intricate as Paul, but at the end of the day, these aren't as intricate. Like you'll get used to these kinds of flows. You'll get used to asking, at the end of the day, what do you want to gain from that customer? And then how do you work backwards from there? So I'm not sure if that's the process you typically work on, but
yeah. And the reason why it had unit 25 is because clearly I've gone through this before and I've added that data. So that's why I was putting that in there. But it's your customers. If they don't put anything in there, then it won't show up, obviously. So we have same exact thing with phone, just like we did with email. We're gathering their phone number for texting, SMS, asking if we can opt them into our SMS update list. Then we go on to which channel they purchased from. If they purchase on Amazon, so we have Amazon website or retail store, again, let's say you want to edit this for you, and let's say you don't sell in retail, you can just delete this. You can just take this whole thing and then delete it, and then it won't have this next branch that people can choose. So if they say, Amazon, for example, so I'll go to Amazon.com. What's your order ID? So you ask the order ID, they give it. What we're doing is we're not doing any sort of validating here. What we're doing is we're just saving this because this is for warranty replacement. The other flow that I have, we do some validation where we actually check to see that order exists, and that uses another tool called seller.tools. From here on out, we go to our managed subscription, which is another flow in addition to this that you're getting, which basically we allow people to control what messages they receive from us, like everything blog updates, everything but blogs, deal club alone only, et cetera, et cetera. From there, we are then asking them permission to give us a one-time notification so that we can notify them whenever we have. And this goes back to Facebook's rules on the messaging best practices, that we want to make sure that we can actually give people information only that they want when they want it. So that is one of the flows. The other one that you're going to be getting is our freebie post-purchase. It's basically the exact same thing, but instead what we're doing is we're allowing people to pick a freebie. Steps 8 and 9 is where we're giving, let's say the lead magnet is, register your purchase for a free bag of gum or whatever. Let's say you sell candy and you want to give away gum. For a free bag of gum, register your purchase, and that's what this flow does. So just to be respectful of your time, I don't want to go through all of this, but it's basically follows the exact same thing. You just do 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. And if you have questions, you can email me. So I'm going to pop back over into my presentation mode and then go through a couple different things. I did say that I was going to talk about the ref URLs because that's how people are getting into these flows, right? So we have, going back into this cool little insert, right? Where we have the truth or dare, and then they say go to warranty. So how I would set this up is inside Manychat, you would use the growth tool, the ref URL. And the ref URL is basically just a URL that you could put in any insert that triggers automation. So here's one that we have, book a sales call. This one goes into, welcome to the chat agency. We're looking forward to chatting with you in our initial call, yada, yada. So we say, here's what we want to do. I'm going to set up a new one. So I would click messenger ref URL. It sets a default message. I could replace this with one of my flows. So let's say we're doing a product registration flow. Okay. So I'll call this product registration test. I'm going to replace this with our step 1 of product registration. You go back to the correct one. That's an old one. Select number 1. And that's everything that we just went through.
Right.
So I can save this and I'll call this ping pong. To save this, that's a URL that I can put into, say, like bit.ly, and it could be like bit.ly.com/ candy or whatever. Or if you have a Shopify website, you can set up a URL redirect, which is super simple, easy to do. And you can redirect that URL like linenspa.com/warranty. I can have that go to this. And when this gets up, it triggers that flow. So you see, I click the link, opens up Messenger, and does the flow that we just went through. So that's how the ref URLs work. So that's really all you need to get these set up and running. This is just a test account for us. We have, surprisingly, we actually have subscribers, which is kind of funny because this is just where we do testing.
They want to know if you're testing, or they want to know, if they're missing anything out. This is where it's going to happen. This is where the magic happens, basically.
Exactly. So there are a couple rules and costs for sending broadcasts. I mentioned that earlier. And I also mentioned this. Your mindset going into this using Messenger should be to not annoy people. It should be that you want to send people information, only the information that they want when they want it. And that should apply to email as well. Anytime you're proactive with sending anything to people, whether it's SMS, email, Messenger, that should be your mindset. The biggest thing, too, that you need to do is avoid, like the plague, violating Facebook or Amazon's terms of service. Now, Facebook has rules around broadcasting. And in a nutshell, like I said earlier, you have 24 hours that you can broadcast a message to anyone who has interacted with your bot within the last 24 hours. So again, in the instance of doing like a product registration, once they've done registering their product, you could within 24 hours say, "Hey, thanks for registering a product. We want to give you a discount on your next purchase. Tap the button to get your discount," or something like that. You can send that. But if it's 2 weeks later or even 2 days later, you can't do that. And the reason for that is that Facebook is really combating spam. When Messenger first came out and opened up their API, they had these rules that people just weren't following, and there was no enforcement. So what they set up now is one-time notifications, like I had showed you in our managed subscription portion, where we say, tap the button below to get notified. You can set these up for any subject. So let's say you want to notify people when you're launching a new product and they want to be on your product launch list. They can tap that button, and basically it saves a token in their account for Facebook that then you can redeem when you send a broadcast. And again, these you can use at any point in time outside of that 24-hour window. And the key here is that you have to be given explicit permission. So they're giving you explicit permission to contact them. There are 4 other use cases to broadcast, and I would recommend to not use these, because I did a thing for a client recently where she was running a webinar. She had a landing page that said, "Get alerted in Messenger before the webinar, get reminded in Messenger." And so we did this post confirmed event update. Facebook has this tag that you can say, there's a confirmed event that people want to get notified of, and we could use that tag on the message so that Facebook knows that this is about a confirmed event. And she got a notice that she was in risk of violating her terms, Facebook's terms of service, because I don't even know why, but every single thing that we did was by the book. And Facebook is really just on the warpath now, combating spam. And so that's why I say your mindset should be not to annoy people, because even if you follow Facebook's rules, you could still get in trouble. So go extra cautious, use one-time notifications all the time. And when in doubt, you can always do a sponsored message. You shouldn't get in trouble for that. I have heard of people getting in trouble for that as well. But you can always use SMS, which is built into Messenger or Manychat as well. So
is there like kind of a rule of thumb? Like, will people get dinged Amazon first, or will they get dinged probably Facebook first? Like, what's kind of the adage when using Manychat? Is there one over the other?
Yeah.
Who's more stringent on that kind of stuff?
I would say both, to be completely honest. I mean, that's where you need to make sure that you know the Amazon terms of service. But realistically, with it being Messenger and it being Facebook, you've really, really, really got to know that the information and the updates that you're sending are actually valuable to people, that they've given you explicit permission to opt in. And that's really what it comes down to, is really leveraging those one-time notifications, because they're really not that hard to set up. They're very easy. It's just one extra step. And it basically shows Facebook that this person said they wanted you to contact them about this thing. And it could be anything, because how you set up a one-time notification is, see if I can go to my screen and go back to that one.
That one flow, yeah.
Yeah, the one flow where we had let's go this way. Actually, we have the general flows as a managed subscription. So this, where we say get notified blogs, et cetera, to set up a one-time notification, it's really simple. It's this button right here. You have to tick a box in your messaging inside Facebook. There's walkthroughs on how to do that. It's super simple. If you click that button, it'll walk you through how to get that set up. But the topic can literally be anything. I mean, video club alerts, everything but blogs, segmentation. I mean, I could even have like walruses. I mean, it could literally be anything. But the point is that the message that you send, if you get this token, right? Let's say they give you this token. They say, yes, notify me. It saves that as a token on their user account. The message that you send has to match this, right? Again, the fallback is don't annoy people. If you're sending people messages out of the blue that they don't expect, they're going to report you to Facebook and you're going to get in trouble. And that's really all it comes down to. So here are my contact details. You can email me, paul@chatmarketinguniversity.com. The agency that I run is called the Chat Agency, and that's where we do these services for you. So if you are like, this is confusing, I don't want to learn, I just want to pay you.
Help. An hour was not enough time, Paul. I need more.
Right. Yeah. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. If you go to that link, cmu.life/pingpong, you'll go into a flow where I'll be getting some details about you as a seller and showing you a little bit more, some tips and tricks that we do in chat. And then at the end of that flow, we'll deliver these templates, the one with the product registration for warranty, and then the product registration for the freebie redemption thing.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah, I tried it last night and it works. Like I was playing around with it. So if you see half information that went through, that was me. That was me. Like, I apologize for that, but no, yeah. And like, Paul, what's kind of like, you mentioned like, there's so many other different things. I guess for your university, what are people gaining when they like join your group or, trying to educate themselves more on this kind of stuff? Like what's a little bit more about your business in this capacity and how they can learn more on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah. Like I said, I started Chat Marketing University. The name was Messenger Bot University, specifically because there wasn't really any training at the time. When we launched, we were actually the first course on chatbots on the internet, and more specifically about Amazon sellers, because my two business partners at the time were Amazon sellers, both seven-figure, well over the seven-figure mark, and we were all using chatbots in our business. And we all had different things that we were doing. Like Ben was really good at launching products. He had this cool little funnel that he did. I was really good at getting reviews and building lists. So we just decided to partner up and just teach people how to do what we were doing. And over the years, I've just become like known as the chatbot guy in the Amazon space. And so inside the course, we teach people how to leverage chatbots and chat marketing to build lists so that they can launch products, rank products, get reviews. And the big thing that I really focus on is a brand first approach. So like I've said, I kind of beat that horse to death, is don't annoy people, follow the rules, follow terms of service. There's no reason why I think if you have a solid brand that you need to be doing things like doing a giveaway campaign to gain rank.
Exactly.
Product, and you have people that love your stuff, and you tell those people, hey, we're launching a product, you'll get sales. Oftentimes, you won't even need to do any sort of incentive. I mean, look at Apple. Like when they launch stuff, obviously Apple's a massive brand, but I love comparing myself to them because they started somewhere, started in a garage, and they were obsessed with customers. They're obsessed with product. And that's the way that I think of branding in business. And the vehicle that I love to use is chat marketing. And so that's what I teach in CMU. The reason why I started the chat agency is because after all my speaking events, anytime I do a webinar like this, I get the two most common questions in addition to the course are, can I hire you for consulting, or can I hire you just to do it for me? So for the longest time, I would always tell people no, they couldn't. They could hire me for consulting, but I'm really expensive and you probably don't want to because I'm super. I mean, you can if you want. But
you'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. But I price myself out because I'm so busy. I'll do consulting. I just price myself so high because I'm busy with my brands. And so we started the chat agency because I just couldn't tell people no, because there was a lot. I needed to stop telling people no because there's so much bad advice out there there's a lot of people that have taken my course or taken other courses, and then they're now teaching people, but they're not actually Amazon sellers. And so some of the things that they're teaching people is legitimately like going to put their accounts at risk. And I couldn't stand by and watch as that was going on.
Right.
So,
because you can obviously help that.
right, exactly. And again, the reason why I did this was I wanted to help people. Obviously, I'm making money doing it. Like, that's the best world, right? If you can help people and make money, or you love what you're doing and you can make money at the same time, that's why I did it. So yeah, CMU is all about best practices, using chatbots as close to what we can, following the terms of service. Obviously, Amazon's the final arbiter, but everything that we teach, we try to make sure that our students know the best routes. And if it's just a little bit too complicated, or you just don't have time and you'd rather hire us, that's why we started the chat agency.
100%. Well, I mean, there's so much more information I know we can dive into, and I know you're a busy guy, as you said. If you are listening to this and you want to reach out to Paul or myself, and there's just a question or a topic we didn't cover today, I know, an hour is just not enough time to just go on all the possibilities of flows and trying to help your business grow in that capacity. Please reach out to us. Like, this is a show that we want to bring on, like-minded people, where if this is a community that people are asking for, hey, I want to grow my, ranking, and I want to go not the traditional route, or like do PPC. How else do I do that? Paul has those kinds of like answers and how to do that through Facebook Messenger and other capacities. He's done it. He lives it. This is his livelihood as well. So, yeah, I think we'll wrap up with that. And I would love to have you on, obviously, for future shows, just to kind of go over specific topics. I think we have a couple of things that we talked about off camera in terms of like how we can help people use this as another branch of their marketing arm. And they shouldn't be afraid of it. I think that's the number one key. Is this is supposed to help you. This is not to, some black hat solution to get more sales or to get more branding or to get more information from people. This is something that is tried and true to help Amazon sellers grow their business and also utilize it, because this is a practice that is very well what people are doing 6, 7, 8 figures a month or a year. This is what they're doing to gain that loyalty, that business, that branding, and so on and so forth. So, but I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to mention or leave us with, Paul, or did I say it all?
Yeah, that's good. To reiterate, anything you do can be white or black hat. The choice is up to you. It's just, making sure that for me, integrity is everything. And so when I build a business, I want to build it with integrity and honesty. I don't like cheaters. I've never liked cheaters. And so you can build a business in the Amazon space without cheating.
Absolutely.
You don't need to follow those shady tactics that a lot of successful people you see are perpetrating, because you just don't have to. Yeah, I think the time for that is coming to an end. The feds are indicting 6 or 7 Amazon consultants for bribery because of doing black hat stuff. And there's lots of reasons. Sorry, that's my high horse, but yeah,
that's another show we can talk about. Yeah,
that's a whole nother show. Yeah, if you have questions, I'd love to help. You can join my Facebook group. Shoot me a message on Messenger here, and love to help.
Absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, either reach out to Paul and myself. We would be more than happy to get in touch with Paul, and vice versa. Obviously, I'm Ryan with Crossover Commerce. This is our show to kind of just bring more information to the world of e-commerce to light with people like Paul. Paul is an Amazon seller, a business person, and not a college graduate. So anyone can do it, like I said. But Paul's a great person, human being as well. I would say follow him on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all those different channels. We thank you so much, Paul, from Chat Marketing University. And until next time, guys, stay safe out there, especially in this time. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Paul.